Hi, friends. How are you? It's me, Christiana Gaudet. It is Saturday. I am live on my Facebook business page for the Saturday Psychic Sampler. All right, so here's what we do. Specific questions. The more specific, the better. You ask the question, I'll give the answer. That's how it works. Before we get started, let me just say a few things. First of all, if you are watching in archive on Facebook or YouTube, thank you so much for being here. And if you happen to hear me say something in a reading that resonates for you, go ahead and take it as a message. That's fine. I want to remind you that as long as the storm does not knock out my electricity, that I will be live on my YouTube channel tomorrow, Sunday at 4 p.m. to give a 1-hour class called 3 Cards and Infinite. That's what it is. 3 Cards and Infinite Possibilities. So I hope you join me there and then. Yes, today we are hunkering down. There's a lot going on today. We're hunkering down for the storm, but it's only supposed to be a Cat 1. And I've been in Florida long enough to call myself a Floridian. We're not really afraid of Cat 1 hurricanes. So that's fine. Now, what else is today? Today, of course, August 1st is celebrated as Lammas or Lunasa. And this is the first of the harvest festivals. So we have that harvest energy, which is a wonderful thing. It's a time to think about what you want to harvest in your life. And today is also the birthday of the late, great Jerry Garcia. And it begins the annual 9-day festival called The Days Between, and also Jerry Week, where we celebrate the life of Jerry Garcia. He was born on August 1st and died, unfortunately, on August 9th, obviously not in the same year. So under normal circumstances, I would be out a few times this week, going out, listening to bands and celebrating that way. We will be getting together online, and there'll be some live music online for us to enjoy. But for those of you who celebrate, happy Jerry Week, happy Lammas, happy Lunasa, happy Days Between. And for my friends here in Florida and other parts getting the hurricane, happy Hurricane Day. All right, that's all I got to say. So specific questions. Oh, yes, and in bulk, good in bulk to those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you, Nicola. Absolutely. Okay, I forget about that. I shouldn't, man. We're one big globe, so good in bulk to those of you in the Southern Hemisphere as well. Okay, so what I like here are very specific questions. For Saturdays, I want to know, specific question, specific answer. So Cheryl has asked what's in store for me this week. Because I love Cheryl and she was the first one in, I'm going to answer it. But I really want those specific questions. That's what makes the Saturday Psychic Sampler so very much fun. Okay, I'll get to as many people as I can in the time that I have. Let's see what we got. Okay, Cheryl, you may get some not so good weather this week, so be prepared for that. And you may have some difficulties with the people around you. People not behaving as well as they should. So have good boundaries this week. That's going to be important. Okay, Lori, Joe, Karen, Deirdre, Lisa, Martha, so nice to see you all. Okay, Christina Reed. I'd like to know what I can do to get back on track with my weight loss. Man, whatever it is, I need to do it too. Let's see. What can you do? Honestly, what shows up here is it's hard to find the time. You've been so busy. It's really a time issue in a lot of ways. So all the normal stuff, try to exercise, try to eat right, but recognize you've got a lot of time, a lot of stress. It's going to be a lot easier once you get through this particular hump with school. Okay, Martha Vink. Would it be better to build my own retirement home or buy one already built, and when? Okay, now is not the time. I'm not sure when, but now is not the time. Now may be the time to, save the money, have the money, be thinking about it, but wait for a minute before you do. And I think when you start looking, You should look at both options. You should look at every option, leave no stone unturned. You only get to do this once. And so look at it all. And now is not the time. Maybe it will be the time in a year or two, but now is not the time. But now you can start researching. So research, have fun, play with it, but don't make a solid plan yet. Okay, Elizabeth. With this mid-time between summer and autumn, what is coming up for my husband, Rich, and his career? Oh, more stress and ridiculousness, unfair treatment, and, really the impetus to look for new opportunities. As you and I have before discussed, he needs to be looking for those new opportunities. If he looks, he will find. He has to look and he has to believe, and he will find. Joe Bethune, nice to see you. Is it a bad idea to go back to my ex-love? I know there's a connection there. I know that you enjoy each other, and I know that you haven't found anything to replace that in your life or in your heart. But you also know there is a real downside to that, a real downside. And so if you choose to do this, just know that you know exactly what to expect. It will not be any better. It will be exactly what you know it's going to be. If you choose not to do this, I think what you would have to do is really come to your place of healing once and for all. There's a real sense that you're like in AA. If someone quits drinking and they don't go to treatment, they call them a dry drunk. They're not drinking, but they're also not healed. You're doing the same thing. You're like a dry drunk with this guy. You're not seeing him, but you're like white-knuckled on the steering wheel, not healed. If you choose not to go back to him, you must heal. That's what you must do. Karen Winkle. That's another diet question. My diet is not working despite me being very good about what I eat and how I move. Where should I look to make an adjustment? Honestly, in exercise. I think you need to increase your metabolism. It's not even so much about the calories you burn. It's about the metabolism. You need to increase your metabolism by increasing exercise. Okay, Christina, Misty Foster is at work and would like to know if she's on the right path to hit her monetary goal by the end of the year. And the answer is she is on a good path. Whether or not she hits the goal doesn't matter. She's on a good path. She'll get there. She may not get there exactly when she thinks she's going to get there, but that's okay. Tell her not to freak out so much. Nicola, happy to see you. Lori Hahn, happy to see you. Deirdre Martin. I am submitting an application, not a job on Monday. Will I have good luck or approval? Yes, I believe you will. There may be a little bit of a wait, but I believe the opportunity for you is there. Hey, Shauna Steck, so nice to see you. Awfully anxious lately. Any idea what I should be focusing on to figure out why? A lot of it may just be the anxiety of the world. The world is anxious right now. The planet is anxious right now. I think you just have to work on breathing and releasing the energy of the planet from you. Do what we call good psychic hygiene so you're not taking on all the extraneous craziness. This may not be about you at all. It may not be anything going on in your life. It may be the anxiety of the planet. Okay, Uma Elizabeth, what do I need to know about my business growth this month? I burnt out a bit and needed a reset this past week, and you did a good job with that reset. You got to find your right balance. You go like feast and famine, and it's weird. You have to find your balance and also recognize that, once the world changes, you're going to be back to some of the stuff you used to do as well. So it's going to be hard. I think that you are always adding in new skills. You're always learning new skills and adding in new things. And I feel like you're not done with that. And that there might be some new things, new skills, new tools that you'll be adding in that will actually help you. So I almost feel like you're going to do more to do less. Cheryl, no problem. I was happy to answer your question. Okay, Nicola, it's my birthday tomorrow. Yay, happy birthday. Can you tell me what I need to know for my birthday? What should I look out for? Happy birthday. Here's your birthday card. Ha ha ha. On your birthday, you should try really hard not to work too hard. And you should set a goal for your new personal year to recognize your authority in the things that you do and do well and to allow yourself growth. Okay. Lori Hahn, is now a good time to purchase a new vehicle? I believe that it is, yes. Jen Brewington, hi, had a great date this week. Any chance of this going on to another date or two? I got questions. You may need to call me. I got questions. When I look at this person, I just feel like this person could be a little erratic. So we have to wait and see how consistent this person is. Okay, and for the people just coming in, this is the Saturday Psychic Sampler, specific questions, specific answers. Okay, so TK, am I getting the Canadian PPR tomorrow or by this week as expected? Excuse me, I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I think it's going to be somewhat delayed. I think it's coming maybe next week. Okay, Julie, thinking about adopting the black foster kitty. That's the kitty that Maureen has, right? Would that black foster kitty be happy with your family and dogs? There'd be some getting used to with the dogs. That would take a minute. Would this be a good addition to your family? It would not be an easy addition. Would not be easy. Is it doable? It's absolutely doable. Should you do it? I'm kind of a fan of doing it, but just recognize it's not going to be easy. Okay. Bigot Windmill, I have a question. Does my current approach in business work or does it need to be adjusted? A little of both. There are things about it that are working and there are some things that could use some adjustment. Okay. And thank you folks so much for your feedback. I always read it. I don't always read it aloud in the interest of time, but I do always read it and I always appreciate it. Okay, Renee, Sabrina Sheba, are the spirits around me malevolent? Do you feel like they are? I would not say malevolent. I would say indifferent. And you are sensitive, so you may want to do some barrier work just because you're sensitive. Josh, nice to see you. I'm interested in finding out if my guides are pushing me to focus on the professional or the personal now. So you know that GIF that you can put up on Facebook? It's a little kid. It's a why not both? That's where I'm at. If I could give you a GIF right now, it would say, why not both? You probably didn't want to hear that, but there it is. Okay, Zuri. Okay, I'll do you. Zuri's coming in with one of those not too specific questions, but she's Zuri, so you got to do for Zuri because I love Zuri and she's my neighbor and also prepared for a hurricane right now, I bet. What do I have to pay attention to this month? There are some very specific battles. There are specific goals, specific battles. You may be learning some new things. You may be creating some new things. You may be getting your business out there in new and different ways. Pay attention to all those things. Carrie Wilson, are things with the ex still going to be an emotional roller coaster, or do I finally hit a place of peace? You know, that's entirely up to you. You're the one that has to draw the boundary on that. He will make it an emotional roller coaster as long as you let him. Okay, Judy Kerr, so nice to see you here. Will the money I am requesting come through? You may have to push on it again. It may be like something gets caught up in the paperwork. I think it will come through, but you got to push on it. Okay, Laura Dominguez, struggling with depression. I'm so sorry. My kitty passed last night. I'm so sorry. Any suggestions to raise my vibes? Well, I think you have to allow yourself your grief. That's okay. You can't live there, but you have to acknowledge it and allow it. And you're a very spiritual person, so I think you really have to be in a place of openness and prayer and even connecting to the spirit of that kitty so you can still feel that connection that you have. Okay, Renee, nothing to be scared of, just make your space. People and spirits are very similar. They'll only do what you allow them to do. You know what I mean? If you can put up the boundaries. Yes, I know there are people who will cross those boundaries and there are spirits who will cross those boundaries. But for the very most part, if you have good boundaries, you'll be okay. Pamela, what are some good action steps for digging into self-worth and self-love? Oh, you've been listening to me. Very good. I think it's about healing from specific wounds of the past, really looking at how you've been wounded, what has wounded you. And sometimes we know exactly what our wounds are, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we really have to figure out what the wounds are. And sometimes just by naming them, they go away. So I think really doing that inventory into your own past and what has inadvertently caused you a feeling of low self-worth. Okay, Melissa Arsenault, should I go to college next year? Let's take a look. I feel like, yes, you should go to college, but I don't know if it is September, January, or maybe even the following September. I don't know if it's next year. Yes, you should, but maybe not right away. Okay. Okay, Tanya. Tanya Maroof Rubert, so nice to see you. Will my parents ever sell the family business? They probably should, and they sort of want to, but they don't want to let go of the power and control. There's definitely some issues there. And maybe they've even said they wanted to and have a hard time, like finding the right buyer. But I promise you, part of it is their own energy. No matter what's going on, part of it is their own energy. Will the business ultimately sell? It will. It will, and it will happen 3 to 5 years. Okay, very good. Missy Lowe, will my house do okay with the storm? I think so. Obviously, do your preparations as is appropriate in Florida, which also means going to the package store, whatever. Seriously, do your preparations, but I think you'll be fine. Sarah, Amanda, so nice to see you. What would be the most positive? Oh, no. Okay, here's the specific question. Sarah came back and gave me a specific question. Will this horrible person go away? Oh, I love that. And the answer is actually yes. Yes, you may need to do some energy work to sort of claim your space, but yes. Okay, is tomorrow still happening? I am at my storefront. My actual home is an 8-minute walk. I spend most of my time here. I've even got a bed in my conference room right now since I am not seeing people in person. And so, this is my hunker bunker for real right this minute. And I live really, really close. So is tomorrow still happening? That is the plan. If I lose electricity and don't have the Wi-Fi, if I lose my Wi-Fi, if I lose my internet, that would be another story. But the plan is we will meet tomorrow on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 3 cards and infinite possibilities. We're going to learn so much about how to do 3-card readings. So I will let you know if it has to be postponed because of the weather. But the plan right now is we are meeting tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. I also want to let you know I am working this weekend. I am available. So if you would like to work with me, phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom, we can do that. And I'd love to do that. So reach out. Thank you all so much. For my Florida friends, stay safe in the storm. For all of you, stay safe in the pandemic. and keep your hearts light. All will be well. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.